Hey everyone, this is Austin, and welcome back to another review of Kimi-san. And this episode was pretty good. I liked it, and I'm not going to go pretty far into this because it was pretty much action towards the end, and I'm not going to narrate everything that happened to the whole thing, unless, that's a series I'll do later on when I get bigger on YouTube. But besides that, yeah, it's not going to be a long review, like 10 minutes as usual. But anyways, this beginning of the episode was quite nice to see the boring parts of combat, aka paperwork, and I do like how we find out about Mrs. Favorite Soda. And now this question for you guys that drink soda: do you prefer can or bottled soda? But anyways, we see Isuka is being summoned to the Senate. I wonder if he's going to feel the hate flow through his veins. And we see that the Empire is 100% happy. The mission of what he was supposed to do is to see if he could handle Alice, and that was their entire purpose, the Senate, and they're happy to find that they have something to kind of counter her, and he now has to capture Alice to force peace talks, basically. And now this is where we see, Isuka thinks maybe I can, have peace that way, but it's just an idea that was given from the higher ups. But we see later on that, Isuka is going to be basically skipping the training because he wants to speak to Alice, and we see that he's going to the Neutral City, and we see the captain or miss go with him to the Neutral City, or is going to. I do like how we see Alice kind of send off Isuka from the last time and how she's slowly falling for him, and she finds out quite important information about him. And see, the previous episode was him finding about Alice, and I'm happy we get to see the counter with this whole thing. And before we get into that, I really have to say I do like how Isuka he has this sense of justice of he basically knows that what he's being told isn't 100% true. It's blind hate nonetheless. That's what he's realizing, and that's going to be a very big topic for this episode. But anyways, continuing on, we see that Alice kind of just finds out Isuka is pretty much a big deal, a saint disciple, and this is where it all starts to begin, this interesting twist of her figuring out who she is, because Rin, she finds information out. That's just who she is. Honestly, it's kind of funny, but we see that basically Alice finds out about how Isuka freed a mage and basically was willing to go be punished for it, and that brings up the whole question of Alice thinking, is he really like everyone else, or is he actually a genuinely good person? And that's something we're going to see her play around in her mind a lot with this episode. And when this was all going down, we kind of just see Alice just thinking what to do next and what to do, and she wants to obviously go see him at the Neutral City. And this is kind of adding to now the new stress of, is Alice going to get in trouble for being a traitor, or find out she's hanging out with Isuka? And Isuka's honestly going to have the same thing going on. But we see the mother comes in, and we basically see her entire view on the Empire and how basically she thinks what the founder thinks, how the Empire was just, on a witch hunt for all of them. And basically she tells Alice that the paintings are basically awful because it's coming from people from the Empire, because they're bad, because their whole ideas are completely different and all that. Kind of a good reflection of reality, but nonetheless, we now go to how basically they're in the Neutral City. But before we get there, we see Isuka talk about how Alice, he has faith in her already, and we see, Alice obviously heading to the Neutral City too. And they do meet again, and I do like how Alice brings up, we maybe actually have a real connection, and they really do. And this is something I like seeing, because I know a lot of people are like, it's such a coincidence, it's a chance, it's bad writing. It's not bad, honestly. I don't know why people get so butthurt about it. They have to meet somehow, and this does take it to the extreme, but it does it in a good way that it's not annoying. It's just, honestly, I find it funny. I really do, and it's cute. That's the best way I can put it. I know it's pretty popular already on anime trends, but nonetheless, getting to the actual theme before going on a long tangent, I do like how Alice was very proper, and this kind of right here shows this whole war that's been going on between these two, warring nations. Not the Fire Nation, believe it or not. But all jokes aside, people think they understand the other side so well, but in reality don't know, and it's just they're following made up lies and propaganda to fight this war that isn't really why no one knows why they're fighting it, and it's just for someone's power struggle. And I love how this kind of just really piles onto what's going on in this world and what's going on with the Empire and the Nebulous. It's interesting because we now are starting to see the slow I wouldn't say undeveloped, unraveling of what's really the reality of the situation. It's good to have three options in every kind of thing in your life, honestly. But anyways, we see the captain realizes who Alice is, freaks out, and now they're going to be taking it outside. They're going to be hashing it. I'm joking, but I do like how they went out the neutral city, and we see Alice kind of just see and question Iska and see how the neutral city is possible, so there's peace is possible, basically, in her mind. And we see how they go back and forth about the ideas they have been told, and we see their views on each other's places they come from. And I do like how Alice did outright just say, hey, serve under me. And when she got that out, obviously we all know she wants to do things that are not, I can't say on YouTube friendly kind of thing, but yeah, nonetheless, we see before he can answer, the Grand Witch shows up and literally philos Alice. And you don't do that to Alice. Alice is a very, very strong individual that really wants Iska, and you're going to start to see it from this point. It's going to be hilarious. I actually always get a kick out of it because she really likes him, and we see that the founder outright, when she sees Iska and the swords, basically calls the sword a traitor or treacherous, and that makes me know who made this sword, what is the history of the sword. And I have to say, I do like the soundtrack for this scene because it made me think of Data Live a bit. And we see now how Alice's mother saw the founder has escaped, and she's like, oh yay, finally, we're going to see her crush the Empire. And the founder went after Alice for some reason, and we see basically Alice by mistake admit feelings for Iska, and Alice is mad the founder butted into her whole would-be battle with Iska. Yeah, would-be battle. But yeah, we see both of them work together, and we see the Grand Witch basically was awakened due to, Iska's swords, and we hear about Iska's master. Animation for this fight was quite solid. The fight kind of displays the hate for the Empire and how it's blind, just like, the Empire hates the Nebulous for no honest reason. And I do like how Alice and Iska call out the Grand Witch about it also, and we see, this moment they become further in sync. It really felt like Darling in the Franxx to me right here, and Iska cuts off the wings of the Grand Witch with the help of Alice, and basically she goes bye-bye. That's the best way I can put it, I'm not going to lie, unless I, would dub over it, but I'm not dubbing over the fight where I explain every little detail of the fight because that's boring to hear, honestly. It's better if you watch it, but solid Silver Link animation, honestly. And I do like this whole entire fight. As I said, the premise basically brings up how each side literally is following some narrative that doesn't really exist, and it's pointless. We see that the war they have been fighting is pointless, and it's a lot to take in for them. And at the end, I do really like how basically, honestly, they do like each other a whole lot, and I dare say love even. And it's just, this right here makes me happy because it shows that peace is possible. It's just people need to wake up and see that this war that they're fighting, for what? There's no reason, and it's pointless. That's the way I have seen this, that war, just like, Iska has, and it's quite nice. But overall, the episode was really good, and action was nice. I know a lot of people kind of get a little irritated. Oh, it's just like Romeo and Juliet. No, Romeo and Juliet is obviously another rip-off of the original, but don't go and say this is unoriginal because it copies Romeo and Juliet, because Romeo and Juliet's not original, as I said. But anyways, guys, what did you think of this episode? You liked it? Do you think Alice and, Iska love each other very dearly? I think so. I can't wait to see more of this anime because it's quite good and enjoyable to watch, especially Alice, freaking out about everything. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. This has been Austin, and I'm signing out. Peace.